And again, works promotes self-worship. It gives somebody something to boast about. And I'd hate to be in heaven with people boasting about themselves. When I was about 12 years old, I was on a Little League team, and we took second in the state of Oklahoma, out of Manfred, Oklahoma. And my dad was a coach of that Little League team, and my brother played on that team. My brother was a real good Little League pitcher, and my dad didn't want to go to two different games. He wanted to put all of his focus on that team, so he just kind of drugged me up to the next level, and I played out on that team. And I played, they'd stick me out in the outfield, and where I couldn't do a lot of damage out there, and just keep the young kid, out of the way and just try to keep up as best I could. And we came down to the last game of the year for our league championship. And there was a team just this side of Cleveland, Oklahoma, between Cleveland and Sand Springs, called Westport. That was a very good Little League team, and we always battled them. And it came down to the last game of the year where we had to battle them on who went to state. Well, it came up to the last inning. This is just high drama. It came to the last inning with 2 outs. And they had a man on. We were ahead by 1 run. And I was out there in center field. And up to the plate came Barry Bonds of our league. A guy named Alan Huff was one of those guys that at 14 years of age had had the growth of somebody who was probably about 18. Some kids just grow faster. The guy that had hair on his face already. And Alan Huff stepped up to bat with the muscles rippling and hairy arms and hairy legs, and he stepped in that batter's box. And all he had to do was to get that run in from second. And if he could hit a home run, they went to state, and our season was over. Well, Alan Huff, I don't know if he hit the first pitch, the second pitch, the third pitch, I don't know which pitch it was, but he hit that ball as hard as I've ever seen anybody at that age hit that ball. And it came out toward center field. And I can still see that ball coming off his bat and whistling out my direction. And I took a couple of steps over, stuck my hand up in the air, and closed my eyes, and I felt a tug on my arm. And then I looked up there, and there was the ball. Well, it was actually in this arm. There was the ball in my mitt. And I looked at it. I screamed. By that time, the left fielder, Steve Meyer, was on top of me. He jumped on me. I looked up, and here came the whole group of our team. And I hadn't probably had a hit all day. I hadn't probably had a catch all day. But here I had made this catch that ended the game and sent us to state. Well, we got in the car. We were traveling back because we played it over there, and we had to drive back to Manfred, Oklahoma, which is about a half-an-hour drive. On that way back, my mom was driving, and I was in the front seat, and I had a couple of friends in the back seat. We talked about the game. And, of course, we talked about the catch that had been made at the end of the game and making plans for going on. We talked about that for a while, and I wanted to talk some more about that. So I had them in the car with me, so we talked a little more about the catch. And then we, stopped talking for a minute. I said, we're going to talk about it some more. So we talked some more, and we talked some more. And I can still, to this day, and I didn't have a very discerning understanding of faces at that time in my life, but I can still vision my mom's face and the faces in the back seat of when is this kid who's full of himself going to stop talking about that catch. I had them trapped for about 20 minutes, bragging and bragging and bragging about one catch in one season in one game. And I can't imagine being trapped for eternity with somebody strutting around heaven talking about how wonderful they were and how they didn't need Jesus Christ and how all the good works they did in this life. And Paul said there's only going to be one thing boasted about in heaven, and that is the cross of Jesus Christ. Only one subject that anybody's going to glory about or boast about.